It's beginning to look a lot like a reading challenge. That doesn't have quite the same ring to it, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, that is right everyone. Hello and welcome to the Jack Edwards YouTube channel Christmas special. Thank you everyone for being here. So, it is currently the day before, but tomorrow I'm going to be reading solidly for 12 hours. And do you know what I'm going to read? Only Christmas books. So, we have got all of the classics. We have How the Grinch Stole Christmas, we have A Christmas Carol, we have Little Women, we have The Adventures of the Christmas Pudding. And do you know what? This copy of the Polar Express is just really getting on my tits. It's like when you decide to add a banana to a smoothie and suddenly it's a banana smoothie. Stop trying to take over, you'll have your moment, okay? Anyways, these are the books, I'm the participant, this is the challenge, 'tis the frickin' season.
On tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that's gonna make you sick.
Oh, for goodness sake. Good morning. Well, I've woken up feeling jolly. Oh, this was a terrible idea. Okay, so here we go. It is 8 AM and here we go. Merry frickin' Christmas. The first book I'm reading this morning is How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss, because shamefully I have never read this or even seen the film. Blasphemous, I know. I am basically the Grinch himself, but literally everyone I know is obsessed with the film version of this, so I'm going to read it and see what I think. Okay, so time has passed and I've just finished up this book. I completely devoured it, and I cannot believe in my 22 years of life I have never seen the film version of this. I'm just disappointed in myself, but now that is very much at the top of my Christmas to-do list. It was very heartwarming, it was very festive, and I'm glad I finally got around to reading it. And of course, my favourite character was Max the dog. Okay, I've just finished another book, and I've officially got on my Christmas attire. Can I just say, I'm such a catfish. Like, this is me on Instagram, right? And here I am in real life wearing this Christmas jumper that I bought 7 years ago and still wheel out every single year, as well as my space pajamas, and, I don't know if you can see this, I said that as if the camera isn't literally portable, my snowman socks. I mean, it's a look. Anyways, the book that I read is A Christmas Memory by Truman Capote. Capote wrote In Cold Blood and Breakfast at Tiffany's, and I love the way that he writes, so I was very intrigued to read this. It's very short, it's basically just a kind of time capsule of one of his favourite Christmas memories of when he was 7 years old and he used to make fruitcakes with his great aunt every single year at Christmas. And it was very sweet. It's all about how like every family has their own traditions. The only reason I would give it 4 instead of 5 stars on Goodreads is because they killed off the dog completely unnecessarily and I'm upset about it. There was no need for Queenie to die. I mean, I get that it's real life, like this is a real life account, but still, R.I.P. Queenie. But yeah, quite enjoyed reading that and feel quite festive after this and The Grinch. I was just thinking about this and I think that my personal favourite Christmas memory has got to be this one year when my mum came downstairs in her brand new Christmas dress that she'd bought like especially for Christmas Day. She reached up into the cupboard to get something and knocked the tub of hot chocolate from the top shelf of the cupboard. And as it fell, it landed on her head, but it opened up and so the chocolate powder went all over her, like from the top of her head to the bottom of her dress, her brand new dress. She was just absolutely covered in cocoa powder and it was the funniest thing of my whole life. Okay, so now that we've wrapped up book 2, we are moving on to A Christmas Carol because it would not be fair, it would not be legal to do a Christmas reading challenge without reading the ultimate Christmas book. Also, I'm hosting a competition over on my Instagram account, so just head to this photo to enter, and basically you can win a copy of Normal People, the script, there I am, look how happy I am, as well as a Christmas card from me and a book of your choice. So any book that you want to read in 2021, just let me know in the comment section and I'll send you it. So I have just finished reading A Christmas Carol. I have to say, this is probably the only Charles Dickens book that I've ever read and actually enjoyed. I have read this before. There's also a free audiobook on YouTube that you can listen to this with, and it is just a festive classic. I normally find Dickens quite boring, like it's just not my style of literature, but this book is an exception. There's a lot we could talk about, like whether this is meant to be an allegory for the Christian idea of redemption, whether it's about altruism or charity or compassionate capitalism. Also, on the flip side, this book is possibly quite problematic because there is definitely a case to argue that the portrayal of Ebenezer Scrooge is quite anti-Semitic, and it's just the worst thing that literally every writer in the literary canon is so problematic in some way. And as someone who loves literature and loves studying literature, it's always such a constant battle to be like, okay, I enjoyed this book, but I can also recognize that there are very problematic elements of it. So yeah, that is my eternal conflict, but we don't have time to get into that today, so we will not. But I still think it is important for us to recognize that some things are completely outdated and archaic and not okay anymore. But anyway, for now, let's get on with the next book, and that is Little Women. Oh, I'm excited for this one. I've been waiting for this one. Turn it up. Okay, we are just over a third of the way through the challenge. We are at the 4.5 hour mark, and so it's time to start this one. Also, I feel I should address this cushion that my mum has very lovingly put on my bed. It says, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. Which is sweet. I love it, but I might just... That looks nice too, you know? Okay, so basically what I've realized I'm going to have to do, because this is a long ass book and it's kind of monopolizing my time ever so slightly. So every hour that passes, I'm going to take a break from Little Women and read one of these books. So we have the Polar Express and the Nutcracker, because these are obviously a lot thinner. These will be a lot quicker to read, and it just means I can get through a few more books. Yes, these are children's books, and also yes, I do have a degree in literature. In fact, I don't know if I've ever actually shown you guys, but this is my degree. What the hell? This is the most expensive piece of paper I've ever purchased, and also pretty much the only thing I achieved in 2020, so there it is. I would literally like this tattooed on my forehead. I think I might fashion it into like a necklace so I can just wear it like this in every video. But enough of that. Now I'm going to read The Polar Express. This is like a 35th year edition, and it looks absolutely stunning, although it is massive. Well, here I am, a 22-year-old man reading The Polar Express, a children's book. Hey dog! Hey! Ah! We're under attack! Hey dude, how's it going? How are the kids? How have you been? Any nice Christmas plans? No? Look at his lovely little jacket. I got him his own advent calendar and it's my favourite thing. What day is it? No, that's the 7th. Can't you count? Maths isn't his strong point, but then it's not mine either. Oh, what is it? Oh? Oh, good boy. And that's all you're getting for now, my friend. I don't even know why I got him his own advent calendar. I just think it's so sweet when dogs do things that are like human things. But anyway, I just wrapped up The Polar Express. I remember being so terrified of this film when I was a kid because the animation is freaky as hell. But the pictures in this are actually beautiful. Like, are you kidding? These are so lovely. Anyway, so let's get back to Little Women. This is the current time on the clock. Okay, so I have spent the last hour reading Little Women for another hour. It is really good though, I'm really enjoying reading this, and isn't this such a nice edition of this book? Like, how cool is that? Not that I really needed any more books, but here we are, the damage is done. And I also just finished reading The Nutcracker. Can't lie, didn't really enjoy this. I know I must have read this when I was a kid, and I know I'm also not really the target demographic for this book anymore. It was nice, I can appreciate it, but I didn't necessarily enjoy myself. If it was TripAdvisor, I'd give it like 3.5 stars. Not that I've ever used TripAdvisor to rate anything. If it was Uber, no, I'd probably still give it 5 stars because I give every driver 5 stars. Like, even if they would have to literally try and stab me, and I would still probably be like, it's at least a 4. Anyway, glad to have revisited this year, but not sure I will be revisiting the book anytime soon. I think I would love to see a ballet of this, or a ballet in any capacity. I think that sounds really, really cool. Not that I think I'm sophisticated enough to go to the ballet. Like, I fall asleep 5 minutes into a film, so I don't know how well that would go. Okay, so time to move on to The Snow Queen. This is what the movie Frozen is based on. It's by Hans Christian Andersen, who was a Danish author. He wrote a lot of like fairy tales, like The Little Mermaid and stuff like that, for example. And they're usually quite a bit more gory than Disney turns them into, so I'm quite intrigued to read this. Hello friends, so when I say that this book is what Frozen is based on, I use that phrase very lightly now because the Snow Queen in this book abducts a little boy. I mean, I haven't seen Frozen 2, maybe Elsa's fame gets to her head or something, I don't know. Unfortunately, there is no let it go, let it go. And of course, these books by Hans Christian Andersen are often a lot more gory than their Disney adaptations, and this certainly was. Honestly, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I might, but it was still a good read and still worth the time that I spent on it. Speaking of which, I finished Little Women. Very much enjoyed this book. I think my favourite of the sisters was Jo, possibly because she's the book one, and you choose looks, I choose books. But yeah, such a great read. Can't believe I put it off for so long, and also the film adaptation did such justice to this book. Like, having read it now, I can appreciate the film even more, and I think I will probably rewatch it. And now on to some Agatha Christie. Okay, so we are 10.5 hours into the challenge, and I am exhausted, but the next book is Agatha Christie, The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding. This is a Poirot story, it's a murder mystery, which sounds festive. However, I'm not going to lie, this is actually the second time I bought this book, because the first time I bought it, my dumbass bought it in French. So I now own 2 copies of this book, so let's hope it's good. Also, this is a collection of short stories. It's only the first 61 pages. This is actually the story that I'm going to be reading, so it's not going to take too long, hopefully. Okay, I'm finished, and I'm not going to lie, I love a murder mystery. I love Agatha Christie's writing. I love the way that she creates a story, and there's lots of red herrings, and how Poirot and Miss Marple always solve the mystery. Having said that, I always prefer her longer stories rather than the short stories, and also the Christmas editions are never as good as the other ones, aside from the Jack Edwards YouTube channel Christmas special, of course. We don't include that. Ultimately, it's pretty classic Agatha Christie. You know what? She wrote so much. Is Agatha Christie still alive? Oh my god, I literally have no idea if Agatha Christie is dead or not. Okay, so she died in 1970. Oh man, now I'm mourning Agatha Christie. Well, that is a shame. I don't know how we move on from this. Okay, so there are literally 30 minutes left and we are moving on to the final book, 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas. This is by Adam Kay, who is a comedy writer and ex-junior doctor, and he wrote the book This Is Going to Hurt, which is awesome and so hilarious, and this is the Christmas spin-off. I actually got this as a present last Christmas and devoured it in one sitting on Boxing Day, but we're back and I'm gonna read some stories again. I'm so dumb. The time is up, the time is over, and I didn't even realize, didn't even notice. So that is 12 hours and 11 minutes on the clock, and we're done. Merry frickin' Christmas. So that concludes my Christmas reading challenge. I hope you are feeling festive as hell. I certainly am. I had a nice time. I hope you did too. I also hope that you will have the most amazing Christmas possible. I know that this year is going to be different for so many people. So whoever you're celebrating with, or if you're celebrating alone, have the best day, treat yourself, take a break, because this year has been chaos. Don't forget, you can head over to my Instagram where I'm doing a giveaway to win any book you want. The competition ends on the day after Boxing Day, when I will be back with a brand new video. So for now, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you liked it, and you can subscribe for more from me down below. Have a lovely Christmas and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.